Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. So grateful for all of you. We have an international community here at Congruent Living, creating your life from choice. Now, before we begin, let me just say a few things. This is not a dialogue or monologue. It's a conversation. So please, please, please come on in with your questions. And as you come in, tell us where you're from. And if you're seeing us later, hashtag replay and pop in your questions because, I come in every day. And this amazing community always has something to offer each other, which is what I love about what's going on, by the way, in the Congruent Living Facebook. I love the comments people are making, the likes, the shares with the questions we ask. So to me, that's what living an intentional life is. It's putting something out there with the intention of creating greater. And then being present with it, being that energy of it. So today, I thought I'd tap into the 6 keys that I use every day to just, tap in, turn on to a life that actually creates greater. Because it's always by checking in. We're so easily in today's world distracted by all the noise, by all the hubris, by all the people selling something, pushing something, by what's going on in the world. And you know what, this is like, our universe is huge, right? So everywhere you've contracted your life you're living to what you're hearing, instead of being in touch with who you came here to be. Let's shift and change that by creating your life on purpose, not for a purpose, but on purpose. That's actually for me what living a life with intention, an intentional life is. So, living with intention means being in constant communication with yourself, going forward with what's working, what's not working. It's kind of like a little dance, right? You might take 1 step forward, 2 steps back. When you take those steps back, something contracts. You're in resistance, and you're not actually living the life you came here to live. That's, to me, is what intention is. It's living a life with intention is making small adjustments every day, checking in, being present. And I know people say, well, Susan, oh, come on, that's so much work. Well, you know what? How much work do you want? What if it wasn't work? What if work is what you're doing when you smack up against something you're resisting every time and try to prove you're right or wrong, something's good or bad, or this is how come it doesn't work, and on and on and on it goes, rather than checking in. Oh, is this giving me more space or less space? What would it take to be in question here? Oh, I actually have to ask a question. Is this leading me to where I'm asking to go? So intentional living means building your life around your core beliefs and your values, not somebody else's. And the key is to identify personally what that means for you, and make small but significant adjustments along the way, conscious shifts. So what might an intentional day look like for you? Well, it's about commanding your day, not sitting back, waking up saying, oh, I feel like I've got poop on my head, this isn't working, I'm still thinking about a conversation I had with my kid or my spouse or my partner or my boss from yesterday, a year ago, 4 years ago. Isn't it funny how those conversations like to seep in and pull you back to who you were, rather than have you adjust day to day to day? So that's why I say it's about commanding your day. It's not waiting for magic to happen as you wait on the sidelines of your excuses. Oh, this is a tough one today, right? Yeah. Can I see some hearts or a thumbs up on this for people who are listening? I know there's a lot of people who listen at the office. They don't want anybody to know. Thank you so much. I love that. Yay. Awesome. So this is your delicious life. This is it. You chose it. So let's create it with intention. So what could that mean? It could be taking a walk with your partner, friend, or child, just because movement and quality time are your priorities. See, it doesn't have to be something seismic. It can. It's about that small adjustments until you realize, oh, I'm actually living a life I love. I'm living a life created with intention. It could be prioritizing your favorite activities. It could be creating a sense of agency in your life. It could be giving yourself access to your own power. And that's tapping in. Does this work for me? What would create greater? It's about living in the question when you access your own power. And it could be just choosing to live a life with intention supports you in feeling more present, more in tune with you, and more capable. Now, while intentional living, it's powerful, right? It's powerful. It's not always joyful. It's not always comfortable. It's not always easy. Sometimes it can be a bit challenging or awkward, especially in the beginning, because we weren't actually taught to live a life with intention. We weren't taught to follow through with those tugs of the universe. We weren't taught to ask ourselves, so what was I intending when I did this? And does it still work for me? Did that work for me? What would I like to create now? What would I like to create now? And what does that require? The key is to keep going. Remind yourself you're building a life that aligns with your deepest principles, with your values, a life with intention. So I thought I'd play with you with the 6 keys that I use, I would say every day, just to kind of tap in and check in when I find that I'm hitting against that resistance, which is, we create our own resistance, yeah? We create our own reality. So consider trying these tips and let me know how they pop for you, these keys. The first is tune out the noise. When I'm setting in to create something, whether it's another class or, pardon me, whether it's another class or it's whatever that is for me, and it's for usually for me it's writing, where I hit that resistance and I go back to like grade 4 where the teacher returned my writing and saying, you call this writing? And I realized, oh wow, so that was then, this is now. She did the best with the tools she had. I did the best with the tools I had. Now who would I like to be? What's my intention in writing for you? In writing the curriculum for the Congruent Living Academy? In setting up these Motivational Mondays? What's my intention? My intention is for more life. It's to create greater. It's to offer people information perhaps they're not aware of, that they could actually learn to live with, that would create a life they love, that would create greater for them, that would have them feeling successful, right? That's the way I work with my clients, and that's the way I work with me. So let's talk about tune out the noise. Take the phone, put it somewhere else. Turn off your phone, turn off all the whiz bangs and all of that stuff that come in, put it somewhere else. Tune out the noise. Go for a walk. Find a park. Take your shoes off. Have an earth walk. Be present. Watch the sun come up. Be present. Watch the sun go down. Be present. Take your clothes off and run in the rain. Tune out the noise and tune into you, the signals that the universe is sending you. Because the thing is, we've always seen those, the more lights a city has, the less you can see the stars. Well, it's the same with you. The more hubris and noise and lights you going off around you, you're listening to this, you're doing that, you're creating it, but there's no focus. You can actually be present with all those stars that the universe is here to offer you. And within each star is that's who you came from, right? That's your essence. So it's about connecting. We can't connect when we're busy listening to other people's points of views. So the other thing about putting your phone in the other room, when you go to sleep, it's not the first thing you reach for. So we wake up into this world every day with a sense of possibilities. If you're willing to just sit with you, just take a breath. Some people meditate first thing in the morning. Just be present with you without scrolling through Facebook, without getting all of that input in. I wonder what that could create for you. So what I would suggest is when you wake up, set a morning intention. Set it the night before. Oh, in the morning, I'm going to set my intention if you haven't set it the night before. You want to bring those big asks down to the day. So try setting an intention every morning. Now your intention may be just a few words or a sentence that may serve as a reminder of how you'd like to behave and be with the choices you're making each day. So I set my intention, I put them on sticky notes. And this one says, creating from the power within. So I know that in the morning when I be present with me, I'm asking for every choice, every ask, every creation to come from the power within, to align with my values, to align with who I came here to be and do, not giving my power to somebody else by making their point of view greater than mine. So you can make your intention part of a large morning routine or a small morning routine, or you can simply close your eyes, put your hands on your heart, and recite your intention before getting out of bed. My intention is I'm creating from my power within, no matter what it looks like, no matter what it takes. Thank you. Thank you. Some people tap into, one of the other people I tap into is Esther Hicks. She has a great good morning rant. And I love it. Sometimes when I'm feeling, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to put this on while I'm getting ready for my day, in the shower, whatever it is. And she starts off by saying, today is a good day. Today is a good day. So check it out, Esther Hicks, Good Morning Rampage. I'm going to have a sip of water. Still working with clearing my third eye and, my clarity with who I be, what I be, and how I speak. So I'm very excited. This is a little bit froggy. For me, it means it's coming out. It's coming out. So thank you for being present with that. Third key, identify the way you want to feel in your day, right? Naming your intention for today and how you want to feel is the foundation of living an intentional life. We came here for joy. We came here out of love. Love for this planet. Love for, I wonder what we could create on this planet. So tap in. What are the activities that you're creating with your day that are going to give you fulfillment? Contentment. Is there anything here that you're not, you're not sure about, that you're going to go to a resist in? Be with it. What do you wish you had more of, less of? Create it. What inspires you? Tap in. Again, it could be just an inspirational sticky note that you have. Right behind here it says, practice random kindness and senseless acts of beauty. I see that every day. It's stuck on my wall. Identify what you want your day to feel like and surround yourself at the top of the morning with that which inspires you. For me, most of you know I love going for a morning walk. That is just receiving, it's gifting, it's listening, it's being aware. And that's how I love to start my day. The fourth key is refocus. So here's the thing about living an intentional life. You don't need to overhaul your entire life. You don't have to start from scratch. Just infuse intentionality into every activity that you're already doing. Ask questions. And the actions that you're already taking, ask questions. Infuse intentionality into that. There's a huge difference between saying, I want to, and then going over through Netflix for the rest of the day. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But what's your intention? Is your intention to honor your word? Or is your intention to prove to yourself, you see, I don't honor my word? What's your intention? Refocus. You can always refocus. Bring it back. Once you have that awareness of like, so what's going on here? Refocus. Right? Refocus. Go for a walk. Change it up. Cook something yummy. Talk to a friend. Set the intention of, I'm going to be doing this, whatever this is, for 10 minutes. Put your timer on. And then refocus. What gift are you to yourself that could actually create greater in creating an intentional life, a life living with intention? The fifth is create small shifts. We've been talking about that all along. When you know what's important to you, you can make the best choices for yourself on a daily basis, even if it's the smallest acts. Just for today, I will. Just for now, I will. No regret, no assumption, pure gratitude and appreciation for you choosing more. If it's something that for myself, I'll say, okay, just write 4 sentences and then walk away. And then I find once I've written those 4 sentences, it's like, oh, and then there's this and this, and the universe is like, oh, you're ready to play now. Okay, we can do that. Small steps. And the 6th key is recount your intentions. I talked a bit about that at the start of these keys. At bedtime, replay the ways that you contributed to yourself today. with living with purpose, with intention. You could simply recite these or jot them down in a journal. For example, if you have if one of your values is being kindness, maybe you helped a friend out who's going through a rough patch today. Write that down. Keep track of how much you are doing in your day with intention. And please, please, please give yourself a break, right? Living with intention means being patient and compassionate with yourself, taking an aerial view of who and how and what you're creating, and leave room to make mistakes. Leave room for things that possibly aren't working for you. Leave room, because when you're aware of that, when you're willing to tune in and tap into, oh, this actually doesn't work for me. I'm repeating this again today. Is this really what I'm asking for? Acknowledge, right? Acknowledge. Maybe there's a core wound you're working against. Maybe there's something in your subconscious that keeps pulling you back. Acknowledge that, and then ask for assistance, right? Ask for help. Because there's often things we bump up against that we're like, it keeps coming around again and again and again. Yeah. Well, what's required is for you to tune in and tap in and then ask for that to change. And often it's asking to work with a mentor or a coach like myself, and to really dive into truly, truly, truly what else is possible here. Susan, I keep coming around the same thing. So give yourself that kindness, right? Use the self-talk that validates your emotional experience and sounds more like a good friend and less like a judge. That's what working with a mentor is all about. So let's recap. Intentional living comes from living with what brings value to you. This means taking action, right? All these keys I've given you require action. Have a re-listen and let me know which key pops for you. Intentional living also becomes an everyday practice. You might fall into it, you might fall out of it. And again, that's where having an accountability buddy, a coach, really works well. Somebody you can tap into and say, okay, I tried this, this works, this doesn't work, what's happening? An intentional life brings joy, it lowers stress. And sometimes it's difficult, right? When you're making big changes, when you're making small changes, especially if your current intentions don't line up with what you've learned in your earlier life. So remind yourself that's totally natural to feel a range of emotions while living an intentional path. After all, you're doing the best you can with the tools you have. So if you'd like extra support in living an intentional life, please contact me, Susan at SusanLazarHart.com. And let's dig in. Let's have a coffee chat and see truly what is it that you're bumping up against that's keeping you from living a life you love. Now, I don't see any questions coming in. If there are questions, if this is not going live for you, it's going live for me. Please let me know. I'll stay on here for a few more minutes to see if there's any questions, anybody popping in with a question on creating an intentional life, living a life of intention. It's so interesting because we were taught to go with the flow. Well, go with the flow, yes, it means going with a non-resistant mindset. It doesn't mean go with whatever everybody else's flow is all about. It's really, this is your life. When was the last time you actually took an aerial view of your life and asked yourself, am I living my life with intention, or am I living it in resistance and reaction to what other people say or do? Yeah. I wonder what else is possible. Check out these 6 keys. Let me know what pops for you. I don't see any more questions. I actually love waking up in the morning and just being present with, this is a new day. This is a new day. This is a new day. And then being with the energy of what you're asking to create. Reviewing your day, seeing what shifts and changes are possible, and then be present with the energies. Send them out, right? Send them out. I'm living a life that I love. Everything's always working out for me. Send them out. Because the universe is listening. And whatever you be or do or say, that creates an energy that sends it out. Energetically, vibrates to more coming in. That's the law of more life. I don't see any questions today, so thank you so much for popping in. Again, if there's a disconnect and you're writing your questions on our Congruent Living Facebook, please do. I'll come in right after this and respond. Until we meet again next Monday. That's right, next Monday. Live boldly, love greatly, and be that fearless leader you came here to be. Because the world needs more of you and that special sauce. And you living a life of intention. I wonder what that could create. Let me know. Let me know if you have questions. Let me know if you have comments. Let me know if you have ahas. And if you're watching this on our YouTube station, like and share it, please. And I wonder what we can create together. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.